The Kardashev Scale is a hypothetical measure of an alien civilization's level of technological advancement, proposed by Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev in 1964. It categorizes civilizations based on the level of energy they can harness. A Type 1 civilization is one that can harness all the energy of its home planet. A Type 2 civilization captures the full energy of its star, such as a Dyson Sphere. A Type 3 civilization could command the energy of an entire galaxy, while proposed Types 4 and 5 civilizations could tap into the energy of the entire universe or even other universes. This method of measuring a civilization's advancement is completely outdated, and here's why. Real progress isn't about using more energy and building bigger and bigger structures, but about making everything smaller, more efficient, and more precise. A Dyson Sphere, or a machine that captures and encircles an entire star, sounds impressive, but this concept is the opposite of what true advancement looks like. Think about how far the human species has come. Computers that once filled entire rooms now fit in your pocket. As technology advances, it's becoming increasingly smaller, such as nanotechnology, quantum computers, and microscopic machines built within the realm of the atom. Every technological step forward has been about shrinking things down, using less energy, conserving, being efficient, and doing more with less. Why would an advanced alien civilization evolve any differently? When people imagine alien megastructures like Dyson Spheres, they equate it in their minds with the concept of progress to an extreme. They picture a species so advanced that it wraps its entire star to catch and control its massive energy output. This is the kind of thinking that was prevalent in the 1950s and 60s, around the same time that the Kardashev Scale was introduced. You have to ask yourself, does the Kardashev Scale really make sense? If technology keeps getting smaller and more efficient, wouldn't the collection of energy follow that same path forward? Instead of giant structures, an advanced civilization would use microscopic devices floating in space, pulling energy with perfect efficiency and storing it in ways we can't even imagine. To us, it would be invisible, seamless, even borderline magic. But to them, it would be a far more efficient and powerful method than trying to build a metal shell around their sun. We now know that the quantum world is filled with enormous amounts of hidden energy, pushing us toward breakthroughs in technology that would have been unthinkable only a short time ago. Now think about alien spaceships and probes. Some people suggest that city-sized spacecraft are traveling across the galaxy, like claims made by Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb that 3I Atlas could be a 7-mile-long alien mothership. But does that match what we know about technology as it advances? Would a civilization millions of years ahead of us waste the effort to move a mountain of metal through space? The smarter and more obvious choice would be the opposite. They would send small probes the size of a coin, or even smaller, packed with mind-blowing computing power, able to repair themselves, replicate, and send data back to their planet. These tiny machines wouldn't need oxygen, food, or expensive and complicated support systems like living beings would. A living crew adds endless complexity, but a small, efficient probe could survive the void forever, which seems more realistic. Giant ships burning endless fuel, or swarms of invisible drones racing across the galaxy that utilize peak energy efficiency and data collection. We see this same story play out in our own history. Early telescopes were massive tubes of glass and wood. Today, we build quantum sensors smaller than your fingernail. The first steam engines were huge, noisy, and wasteful. Now we talk about fusion reactors that might one day fit in a small, tiny container. Everything we build keeps shrinking, and at the same time, it gets stronger, more efficient, and powerful. Why would we assume that aliens would do the opposite and return to trying to build and power clunky, oversized machines? Moore's law shows us that computing power doubles every couple of years as components get smaller and smaller. The human species went from vacuum tubes to microchips to now quantum computing. Each step is about doing more with less. If we push this idea far into the future, we get computers working at the atomic or even subatomic levels, where the amount of energy used is a fraction of what it is today, with computing power millions, billions, or even trillions of times faster. We may even build quantum-sized systems one day that draw energy on demand from a single atom, each one being its own nuclear power plant, drawing endless energy to power smaller and more efficient, intelligent robotic probes and devices. A civilization that masters this kind of technology wouldn't waste its time trying to capture the full energy of its star, a concept that is mired in the primitive thinking of the 1960s. Unlocking the quantum universe could give the human species nearly limitless power, in ways that was once completely invisible to us. On Kardashev Scale, such a species might not even appear to rank as Type 1, yet its technology would be millions of years ahead. The Kardashev Scale assumes that more size means more power, which is supposed to suggest more progress. A Dyson Sphere might look advanced, from a 1960s way of thinking, but a truly advanced civilization would have no need for such wasteful, inefficient structures. They would already command unimaginable power at the microscopic level. Kardashev's vision assumed that civilizations would keep building bigger and bigger structures, a mindset that was very much in line with the limited Soviet Union era of imagination. But what we see today, survival belongs to those who get smaller, harder to detect, and harder to destroy. Swarms of microscopic machines could last for millions of years, while giant structures crumble without enormous amounts of regular maintenance. Real power doesn't grow with the increase in size, it grows as technology miniaturizes to create more power in a more efficient environment. The reality is, the Kardashev Scale uses outdated 1960s Soviet Union thinking and methodology. We imagine progress as building star-sized monuments because it flatters our primitive industrial mindset. But the real story of technology is one of miniaturization, of replacing bulk with elegance and waste with precision. If advanced aliens do exist, they aren't building Dyson Spheres or city-sized ships. They exist in forms we probably cannot even detect. Tiny robotic structures drifting in the void of space, small but unimaginably advanced. And this is most likely the future of the human race, not building bigger but building smaller, in the quantum universe. It's in the tiny world of atoms and the unexplored universe of the quantum realm